All right, welcome in. It is time for Total Bases. It is Thursday. It's an abbreviated slate, travel day for a lot of these teams, but we still have 8 games to talk about. We recap. If you listen to the show every day, I'm pretty sure the three of us bring up what happened the night before. I'm going to move that to the front of the show. So every day when we come on here, quick around the horn, how did it go? And we'll just do that on a daily.
I can only understand half of the words you're saying.
Yeah, I got to figure that I tried to reset everything.
Why don't we have until you could get that fixed up? Why don't Tokyo and Brandon and I work on this first game while you try to set yourself up? I had a lousy day yesterday. I had 4 plays going yesterday, all small plays, 1.5 units. Lost them all, including the over in this game here in Vegas. 5 home runs, but only 1 runner on base total. So yeah, it was an ugly game for me, an ugly night for me. But luckily, just small plays. We'll get them back today. In the Seattle game, we're looking at Wu against Bradish, and Wu's about a 110, 115 favorite with a total of 8.5 here. Bradish pitching much better than he did earlier in the season. Brian Wu's a guy I really like. And let me take a quick look here at the weather situation. For the most part, for the weather situations, the one you really have to worry about is Kauffman Stadium. The wind's blowing out pretty good. It's supposed to be really hot. They're expecting 41% more home runs in that game, which is why the total's a little high. We'll touch this a little bit later, but in this one in Baltimore, about 10% more runs than normal. So nothing really crazy in this one. But when I'm taking a look at this game, I somewhat like Baltimore here. I think right now they're swinging the bats pretty well, and you're getting them at a decent price. But not enough for me to get involved. How about you, TB? You got anything on this one?
So last night, MLB, I lost the Braves just a small 2%. I thought they'd bounce back from that walk-off loss, but they did not. They looked flat. They looked terrible. But they were going against a stud pitcher. I didn't think Sale would give up 2 runs, but he did. The KBO, I went 3-1 with a 4% play. So overall, I won, but I lost the MLB play. Regarding this one, Brian Wu and Bradish. I kind of agree with you. I can't go with Seattle here because I know everyone likes Wu, and he's kind of the darling. But if you look at his road home dichotomy, the discrepancy in his stats, it's bad. He's got a 5+ ERA on the road. I know the sample size is pretty small, but he's had this problem since last year. I rode him a couple times last year and lost when he was on the road. So he's not invincible. He's not Superman like everyone thinks he is, but at home he is. I'll back him at home, but I have the Orioles with the better bullpen and the better hitting. So with Wu's shaky road stats, I can't back Seattle. I don't know if I'll back Baltimore, but I know I'm not backing Seattle in this. So, and by the way, Adam, you sounded just fine to me. I don't know why you were freezing.
No, it's not. Listen, it is. I just tested it. It is not the output. Everyone is getting it. It is. That is on our end. So whatever the issue is on the program that we use to push this out. So we're just going to have to fight through it. Yeah, I just double checked. My internet is perfectly fine. The output that you guys should be seeing should be perfectly fine. Our system, so we use a program to pump this out to different places. There's clearly something wrong with it because I don't think we're live on Twitter right now. So I've notified the home office. Hopefully they're working on that. But Vinny, everyone in the chat says everything sounds good. So we're going to just, we'll battle through it on our end. But like I said, as long as you guys are getting the output fine, then we're fine, and we'll continue to go along. So, I went 2-1 yesterday. I did lose the Mets. That was a terrible call. I am going to reserve my comments for that game for when we talk about that game, because we will talk about that game today. As far as this game is concerned, I put this one in the in the feature slot, because it is on national TV. It is the ESPN game tonight. I kind of joke that ESPN, they get rid of Sunday Night Baseball, and then like every couple weeks they dip their toe in with like a Thursday night feature game. I don't know if it's like they just have nothing better to put on, but this is the national TV game on ESPN. As far as the matchup's concerned, Mariners, Orioles, a very close one for me in terms of like where the number is, kind of exactly where I expected it to be. I've been pro Mariners this whole time. So kind of go back to what I said yesterday. I've liked them this whole series. I've really, aside from that Met series when the prices got really inflated, I don't think I've been up against the Mariners at all the past couple weeks. It's been only Mariners for me, and it would only be Mariners for me again here. I think they've quietly, like, you want to talk about power ratings and making your own ratings and stuff like that. To me, like right now, they're like the clear second best team in the American League right now. I know that a lot of people may not have them rated that high because of the poor start they got off to. But when you look at the American League, obviously the Yankees, you still have to put one. But like, I don't really see a better team than the Mariners. And I don't think it's weird because on a day-to-day basis, sometimes they get way overvalued like they were in that Met series. In this series so far, probably because they're on the road, probably because the Orioles get a little respect at home, the Mariners have been very playable every game this series so far. If you've done it, you're 2-1. They won the first two games, had a little hiccup yesterday. I kind of think they find a way to take this series here. So for me, the Mariners is I have probably three opinions today. I don't know if I'll get to the window with any of them. Again, it's a short card. One of those opinions is the Mariners. I do think that they're just, in what's a close matchup on paper, I still think the Mariners are just the better team. They're set up to win more games. They play like right now. They're playing winning baseball, and I'm still a little bit higher on Bryan Woo. I know we've talked about Bradish. I like what he's done since the beginning of the season, but like if Woo can click a little bit, like when he's on, he's like a legitimate ace in my opinion. And I don't always think he gets the full credit for that. So Mariners for me, not sure it'll make my card, but that is how I'm seeing our feature game. All right, we're gonna get in a groove here. Sorry about that start there. We had I think we're having a little technical difficulties on our back end here. So again, we'll fight through it, and I am gonna go to the game I want to talk about because. I wanted to address. So I went 2-1 yesterday. My one loss, I actually talked about it on the show, was the Mets. It was a horrific call. Brian, you and Tokyo Brandon were both right. You both liked the Cardinals in that game. I will make a quick comment just because I think the chat is so hyper-focused with, and I'm fine with recapping results, talking about the losses. Me personally, guys, if I'm, we do this for 6 months. You're going to win games. You're going to lose games. You're going to be right. You're going to be wrong. Nothing upsets me more when I lose a game where I was right, where I nailed the handicap and got everything but the final result. Because something crazy happened and I lost on some nonsense. I have no problem losing the way I lost the Mets yesterday. That was a terrible call. That was the wrong side. It's going to happen. Those are the ones, to me, much easier to stomach. David says, how about the regressing St. Louis Cardinals? That was definitely a little jab. I said they were regressing yesterday, and they came out and won in a blowout again. 6-game winning streak, another winner last night. Yeah, listen, I'll kick this one off, and I'm going to go to Brian. St. Louis has played great baseball. No question about that. Yesterday, though, my handicap was heavily based on the fact that the Mets moved Christian Scott to today. So here is what I thought. And remember, this did not happen, but this was what I wrote about. This was my mindset going into yesterday's game. The Mets came into play yesterday with like a 3.24 team bullpen ERA. Their bullpen has been essentially top 5, top 7 in Major League Baseball, top to bottom all year. That is the full bullpen. Back to front team ERA has been in the top, 6, 7 teams in Major League Baseball all year. What I thought was going to happen yesterday, Brian, I thought they were going to open with Austin Warren, and they had not used any bullpen for like 2 or 3 days because, of course, they got blown out on Tuesday. They didn't play on Monday. On Sunday, guys did pitch, but no one pitched more than an inning. I was like, oh my, this is great. They're set up for a traditional bullpen game. We're going to get a traditional bullpen game because they moved Christian Scott to Thursday. So why would the Mets do anything other than Warren as an opener and then just stack like 5 or 6 of their best relievers? Because they need wins right now. They can't just be punting on games, 8 games under 500 in June. What did the Mets do? Well, Austin Warren got in a little trouble, so that didn't help my cause. And then they just trotted David Peterson out there to just get destroyed. So, like, to me, it's like the Mets can't be doing this right now. They're too far behind, in my opinion, to just, like, wave the white flag. Yet that's what they did. But here I am wanting to play the Mets today because now I feel like I'm getting Christian Scott, who I do like, and I should have all the good bullpen arms. So maybe I'm a glutton for punishment, Brian, but my parlay leg today is going to be the Mets, and that's another team that I like. I like them for that reason. And Hunter Dobbins is a guy I've liked at AAA. At the big league level, I think he could be hit or miss. So I'm on the Mets again here. Push back on me. Go ahead, and then we'll go to TB.
Yeah, I'll push back a little bit. You said they threw David Peterson in there. Well, David Peterson's been a guy who's been better when they have used a starter in front of him. Coming in bulk relief has been what he's been good at this year, and he hasn't pitched in a while. So you kind of thought that was going to be the way they were going to look at it. I didn't go in depth on it on the show because you had the other side, and I just let people know that I kind of like the other side. I don't want to spend too much time fighting against each other because a lot of times they want us all in agreement. But he hadn't pitched in a while, so he came out and they used the back end of the bullpen. They used a guy they just brought up from AAA, and they used Warren starting him off and Peterson. So I agree. This bullpen situation is great. None of the top 5 arms have pitched in the last 3 days for the Mets here. That's a good thing. And I agree. I also like Christian Scott, and he's on a nice run. He's 14th over the last 14 days for a starter. He's been very good. But I also like St. Louis's situation. I liked Hunter Dobbins, and I liked it when they got him from Boston. He's a guy that started off. He had some injury concerns, so he's been down in the minors. They didn't send him up here earlier, so he's a guy I like. And also, if you talked about the Cardinals being on a winning streak, they also are set up very well in the bullpen. Other than Jojo Romero, who threw 14 pitches yesterday, their top 6 guys in the bullpen have not pitched in the last 3 days. So we've got loaded bullpens today. We got 2 pitchers that I really like in this game, and we're getting a total of 9. And unless I can come up with something else, I think the under 9 is a pretty good bet, and I may use that as my play. I know we don't usually like to go for the same game, but with only 8 games being played today, it's something I really like. I like both starters, and the Mets are not hitting. They haven't hit all year, and other than a couple of weeks where they got hot. But I thought this was going to be an under series, and I believe the first game scored 7 runs. So, I think this is a good situation here. It's an early game, obviously. The only night game I think tonight is, well, there's 3 games that will be on the night card. They moved Detroit, I believe, so maybe 4 games. So we will have to see. But out of the early games, I think this is an under.
Yeah, listen, if you want that for the parlay, I'll find something else just to keep it in different
we'll see
games.
How it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We don't have to lock it in yet. Right. What I meant is, Brian, I'm glad that you brought up David Peterson because I did kind of misspoke. I did not care that David Peterson was in the game. My problem was when he clearly didn't have it, they just left him out there to just get his teeth kicked in a game that was not out of reach yet. I mean, the Mets hadn't done anything yet, really, but like the guy was out there. I mean, he's throwing a pitch down the middle to Jordan Walker, like it with 2 outs. Like a lot of those runs were given up with 2 outs. I just felt like the Mets could have managed that a lot differently. And Tokyo Brandon, I'll go to you. Like the Mets managed that game like they have a 6-game lead in the division, and this is like no big deal. And that's what surprised me out because when I handicapped the game, and again, I was wrong yesterday. I'm sitting here saying my handicap was incorrect. It didn't go as I saw it. But like, that's what was so shocking to me is that the Mets, they're 8 games under 500. They clearly need wins. And it was just like, yeah, let's just let Peterson get his innings in. get his teeth kicked in. We'll just take another loss. No big deal. That was the surprising thing to me. TV, Cardinals, Mets to you.
Yeah, some managers make some questionable calls for sure. Guys, you can get a double play, 2 of us 3. Huge discount, 3-day pass. Or they just released another special today through Father's Day is like $3 a day. So go to WagerTalk.com, any of our capper pages, and you can find those specials. So I put the pitcher matchups and the pitcher walks projections on my Twitter X today. Neither one of these pitchers show up, though, because they don't have enough innings under their belt this season yet. But I agree with you that Christian Scott has looked really good. Dobbins, very small sample size, but he did have a good start his last time out. Before that, he was just going like 3 and 4 innings here and there. But he looked good. And I agree with Brian. Both bullpens, good shape and rested and looking good. I have both bullpens ranked number 6 in MLB or better. So I would agree with Brian. I think the under 9 is a little too high. Dobbins is a little bit of an X factor there. So we'll see how that turns out with him. A little bit of an X factor because I don't know, like Adam said, he could get bombed or he could have a great game. We're not really sure what to expect from him, but I think he'll do pretty well because the Mets have not been hitting. It's really hard to sweep a team 3 games in Major League Baseball. Generally, once the team has already secured the series, like the Cardinals already have in this series, they tend to take their foot off the gas. So if the Mets are going to win a game, it's going to be this one because they have the better pitcher. So, and the Mets have a very solid bullpen and the better pitcher. So anytime you have a good bullpen and the better starter, you definitely have a chance to win the game. So I think the Mets will probably grab one here and get out of town.
Yeah, and sorry, I got to stop trying to fix things while I'm on air. So I clicked off for a second, but you listen, Jason Brown, it's a good take here. I don't disagree with any of like the Cardinals love, right? Like listen. No, but I mean, like he's right though. They're getting to, Church comes back, Jimmy Crooks gets called up, Newbar comes back. Like that's I guess the one thing, and I think this is what you two kind of like. Definitely Brian sort of made the point yesterday. It's like, and he just made the point right now. Yeah, the Mets, it does line up nicely for them in some ways, but like the Cardinals are playing great ball. Like that's like, the thing where it's like I keep coming on here and saying, well, I do think there's a sell like. Maybe my thought process is flawed because I'm looking at it like this team cannot continue to play this good all year. But then you have a comment like Jason, which makes a lot of sense. Well, why not? They just got Church back. They just got some depth back. Brian says they haven't used much in the way of the bullpen. You know who's had one of the best teams and the best bullpens at the AAA level all year, who's actually currently in first place in the International League? It's the Memphis Redbirds, and they've had the same roster all year. So the Cardinals are actually sitting on a bunch of solid like 40-man guys, and they just keep kind of bringing them in, and they all produce. They all do their thing. So, yeah, I mean, that I think they're all good points. I don't know if I'll get to the window with it, but let's put it this way. Here's the conundrum for me. I bet the Mets yesterday, and now the way things have worked out, today has actually become the better spot to back them, in my opinion. Like the events that happened yesterday have made this a better spot for the Mets because I do think you get Christian Scott, and I do think you get all the top bullpen arms from a bullpen that has been very good. So good discussion there. And again, I'll wait till the end because Brian, if you want that under in the parlay, I'll probably give it to you. So okay. We'll move it along. Listen, it's a Thursday. We've got great specials up at WagerTalk, the double play that Tokyo Brandon mentioned. We've put all of the really good June specials up. If you're looking for longer term stuff from the 3 of us, longer term always going to be the way to go. It's going to get you all of the plays, and it's going to get them at the biggest discount possible, which is always what you want to do when you're buying plays. You want to keep that cost per play as low as you can. The way to do that, longer term packages. Okay, we are going to move it along. I'm going to bring Tokyo Brandon back in here. Alex Rand says, always appreciate you guys. Alex, we appreciate you for the donation. For anyone that comes into the chat, comments on the show, likes, subscribes. We want to hear the comments, good, bad, or indifferent. just expect a response either way. Like that's all I say. I don't care. You can come in and say whatever you want. You're probably going to get a response from one of the three of us. So just be prepared for that, I guess is what I'll say. What Alex says is, just like my Nats to have a blow up like that. Yeah, I may have had to take like a day off. If I had the Nats yesterday, that would have been a day off for me. I think today. Crazy finish right there. Alex wants to know thoughts on Twins Tigers. This is your guy Zebby on the mound here, Tokyo Brandon. Kick us off, Twins Tigers.
Yeah, my aforementioned pitcher matchup rankings are up on my Twitter, X Tokyo _ Brandon, and Zebby's got a 900 plus OPS against these batters, and Detroit, not generally a team I'm happy to back, but today I think they're the right side. They got the better hitting. Minnesota's bats are ice cold right now, and Minnesota's bullpen is pretty trashy right now, almost Washington level trash. So I do have Zebulon ranked a little higher than Montero, but I think Montero's head-to-head stats are better. So and it's not really that big of a difference in ranking here. So I'm tempted to take Detroit here, although I don't really want to because they're not really a good team. But 28-40, hard to back a team that's 28-40. But if I were to, they do have a winning record at home, and Minnesota's away record is 13-20. So yeah, it would be Detroit or nothing for me, I think. Or maybe a Detroit team total over if you're feeling frisky. But I think just stick with the Tigers here. I think they have the edge almost every category.
Brian, Tigers, Twins to you.
I have nothing on this game. I made the line about what it is right now, so I'm going to pass on that. But I do want to mention a couple things. I was at the game yesterday, lost on the overplay, no doubt about it. That was a bad pick. But I said I'd be there, and a couple of listeners who watch the show all the time stopped me, and they were nice enough to come by and tell me how much they like the show, and I just wanted to give them a shout out. Pawn Shop Joe, second time I met Joe since I've been in Vegas. I met him many years ago. And then Moneyline Matt, who was really excited to meet us. And yeah, it was nice to meet both those guys. They bet a lot of sports, and I could have sat there and talked to them all night. Unfortunately, had places to be and things to go, but it was nice to see both of them yesterday. And I got to sit next to Michael Yo, the comedian Michael Yo, sitting right next to me. So, yeah, it was a nice night for me, even though I lost my bet and I lost my play on this show. But I did want to make a comment. Somebody in the YouTube chat said that he had a place that had the total home runs in that game at 3.5 over -105. Did anybody else see that? I live in Vegas, so I don't get many options here in Vegas to play like home run props and that kind of stuff. But it was home runs for the game at 3.5. Now they hit 22 home runs in 3 games, so that's over 7 home runs a game. They're not playing today. Colorado's coming here tomorrow, and Colorado will be playing the A's here. If that's available, if that is something that they're putting out, that's an automatic bet to me. If you can get over 3.5 at -105 or -120, -140 may even be a good bet at that. So if you're like, because the anything yesterday was all weekend hit in the air was a home run. So they just didn't get any other batters on base. So keep that in mind. But if anybody out there was able to see that, let me know. And might have to open up some accounts at these places.
Yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind. So of course that will come back into play in a big way tomorrow, because the A's will be home all weekend in that very small ballpark against the Rockies. Who, you thought there was fireworks in the Brewers series. Wait until that Rockies pitching staff gets involved at Las Vegas ballpark. You might see some other big scores coming up for the weekend. Something you just reminded me of, Brian. I do have some folks that want to come meet me when I'm down in Richmond. If you put that comment, whoever commented that they wanted to go in the YouTube chat, DM me on Twitter because I can't direct message you back via the YouTube chat. So shoot me a Twitter DM and I will take care of you. That is going to be your boy is going to be at CarMax Park in Richmond, Virginia on the 27th. It's a Saturday. And if you want to go, hit me up. I'll make it happen for you. But yeah, back to this game real quick before we move on. I too did not have a ton on this game from a side perspective. I could kind of see this going one of a million ways right here. Like with these two teams, these two pitchers, I wouldn't be that surprised to see runs. Like, I think Kiter Montero has sort of built. He's sort of found a nice niche in the Tigers organization where he's kind of a reliable guy. He's fine being down at Toledo. When he gets brought up, he gives them innings. They're not always necessarily great, in my opinion, but he's having a pretty good year. This year, they've been very good. I would almost say they'd be. It's concerning how good Montero has been to this point because, like, that's just not what I think. Like, I look at his 2026 numbers at the big league level, Brian, Tokyo Brandon. I see a 1.03 whip. That's not going to last. Not with his, like, doesn't get a ton of swing and miss. He gives up hard hit. Like, in my opinion, those numbers are only going to go up. So I'd be willing to sort of play against him. But then you look at Zebi, who's kind of been a little bit inconsistent as well. I don't know what the game total is here. Is it 9? What are you seeing for a full game total, Brian? I'm just looking.
9.5.
Yeah. See, they that's a good job by the books. I couldn't play at 9.5. If it was 9 or lower, I wouldn't be that shocked to see runs. But we'll move it along because I too don't have a great read on this game. I think this is a very much a coin flip, very much a toss up. So let's go back. Let's go back to the chat. Aquadome, just a quick $2 donation, sending positive vibes. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take the positive vibes. Gotta get the positive vibes going in our parlay. We've lost a few of those. Now we're back on the negative side, so we need one of those to get back in the plus on the parlay for the season. AB Covers, yeah, I got your DM. I messaged you back. I'll like I said, I'll make it happen. Just shoot me a DM on Twitter, and yeah, we'll get it going. Can't wait to see you guys. Love, like, that's one of my favorite things is, like, I've met a bunch of you just, like, going all over, mostly during college basketball season. Absolutely love that. So, always great to, get out and interact with the people that watch our show and support us on a daily basis. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that. Ethan, my guy Ethan Bainbridge in the chat, he came to a Bowling Green Lemoyne game with myself and Brian Power earlier this year. We had a blast. So it was a great time. Back to the chat, back to Tokyo Brandon. I'm gonna grab a different game here. Let's go out to Denver. This is one I did get right yesterday. I'm mad at myself for not playing it again. Tokyo Brandon Miller picks says, do the Rockies get the sweep today? Rockies Cubs. Looks like we got Edward Cabrera, Ryan Feltner, and surprisingly, the home team could pull off a pretty impressive sweep if they can do it. Do you see that happening, Cubs Rockies?
Man, I said it in yesterday's show. I said no team is looking more pathetic than the Cubs, and they just night after night keep showing us how pathetic they are. I mean, they were 7 games of over 500, and now they're 500. I mean, they've just been in a complete tailspin, and it's crazy because they have a really good roster. So I don't know, man. This team just needs to pull their head out because they are looking almost. I mean, they're looking like the worst team in MLB right now. But they do have a shot today because, like I said, like I keep saying, teams do take their foot off the gas when they've won the series already. And the Rockies are straight up looking at the record. The Rockies are not as good of a team as the Cubs. Both teams are 14 and 19 home away. So there's no real home advantage here. Pitcher wise, I've got Feltner ranked a little higher than Cabrera. Cabrera's looked pretty bad, but I think overall he's actually the better pitcher. Bullpen is where the Cubs should have an advantage here. because their bullpen is above average and the Rockies is below average. But hitting, the Rockies are crushing it right now. I wouldn't say crushing it. I got them ranked 10 out of 30, where I got the Cubs ranked 20 out of 30. So all my numbers say Colorado should take it, but I just have this. There's just this thing about baseball. There's an ebb and flow about baseball that if you watch this game for 20, 30 years, you just get a feel for it. And I just feel like the Cubs are going to take one of these. And this is probably the one because I like Cabrera better than Feltner, even though his numbers are not as good. So I probably won't bet it, but the ebb and flow tells me the Cubs should take this one.
Brian, the stubbornness factor comes in on the other end as well, where it's like, for me, I like the Rockies again here, but you know what? Something told me not to play the Rockies on Tuesday or Wednesday, and they've won both. So as Kelly Stewart likes to say, I don't want to be late to the party. And I feel like if I come and bet the Rockies here, that I'd be a little late to the party. That's the conundrum for me, because like Tokyo Brandon is saying, I too am coming up Rockies or nothing. I'm coming up all Rockies, and that is what's keeping me off, the fact that I wasn't there the last 2 days and I don't want to be late. So talk to me about that. Does that creep into your handicap at all? And talk to me about Rockies Cubs.
Didn't you watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High? All the cool kids come late to the party, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Ryan Feltner has pitched really well. I've been watching his games. He's pitching very well, and I agree with TB. No, Cabrera's a better pitcher than Feltner, no doubt about it. Yes, the Cubs are a team that likely aren't going to get swept on the road to Colorado. But keep in mind, the Chicago team. Am I wrong? Didn't they lose? Haven't they had 2 10-game losing streaks this year? They've been
total bipolar team. Just a bipolar.
They've been the streakiest team in baseball by far. They've already lost 3 or 4 games in a row. Maybe they expect to come in here and win. Obviously, a lot of people expect to come into Colorado and win, but there's no way in hell I'm betting the Cubs here. I don't like their bullpen. The bullpen is struggled. They've got guys out there that they expected to be very good. They haven't been very good. Matthew Boyd was supposed to come back this weekend and pitch for the Cubs. Now he has a setback. Anything, if you read about the Cubs, nothing is positive other than their leadoff hitters on a nice hot streak right now. And you could pitch around guys like that when you've only got 1 or 2 guys in the lineup that are hitting. So if I'm playing the underdog in this one.
Listen, Mark, and I know this because Mark has messaged back and forth with me the last 2 days. I know he's been on the Rockies the last couple days. He goes, "Don't blame me, Trig. I'm free rolling." Yeah, listen, I say this both ways, right? Like, if you've been playing the Rockies this whole series, by all means, just bet them again right here. I have absolutely no issue with that. I still think this sets up as a play like Rockies 1.5 for me, being in that -115 to -120 range. I would probably just run it back with that if you've been playing it the whole time, right? Like, why not? But this is what I say. This is what I say about, like, people get, like, I'll bring up a team that's a bad team and people will lose their minds. And it's like, why would I care if a team lost 9 straight games if I didn't bet on them in any of those games? Like, why does their losing streak or their losses matter to me? The only thing that matters to me is the day that I'm backing that team. So so I think, there's an element to that where it's like, if I didn't get hurt by the losing streak, I have no problem playing the team. But yeah, in this situation, if I haven't played the Rockies to this point, and then I come out here and play them today and they lose, then I'm just going to be looking back and saying, how did you mess this up? You like the Rockies in this series. You saw value on the Rockies this series, and you played the one time they lost. That's not really actionable. That's just like me thinking out loud a little bit. But like, from a handicap standpoint, I don't see how it's anything other than Rockies. So it's Rockies or pass, in my opinion. I just don't see how you could play the Cubs at this price, the way they've been playing, and knowing that they've had these long losing streaks all season. TB, jump in. What were you going to say?
I just said you can't play the Cubs. They just look so bad right now. I don't know what's wrong with them, but teams get in a funk. It's like that movie Major League. The guy was rubbing his bat. With the exactly. What was his name? I forgot his name. Anyways, It's like that.
And,
you do anything to get out of your funk, right? What was his name?
Dennis Haysbert is the actor. I actually went to the Major League premiere back in Cleveland, sat next to Mike Hargrove. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and big Soriano was his name, I think, or Serrano, whatever. Anyways, yeah. Pedro Serrano. That's right. So the Cubs are like that right now. Yeah, that's what I was.
And you have in season like precedent of this team having like really long bad stretches. So that's another thing where it's like, it may be a different team. I'd say, okay, they'll bounce back and avoid the sweep, but we've already seen this from the Cubs. So yeah, I would be very careful. I would have no interest in trying to back the Cubs here. Wait until they go to a new city, start a new series. That's probably the time to jump in. They could be checked out a little bit here mentally. And of course the altitude is still a factor. It really just not a great setup for the Cubs today. All right, let's move it along. Austin, yeah, we got to talk about this one. What a crazy game this was last night. Dodgers Pirates. I mean, you got Tyler Callahan just having the game of his life. Looks like Mickey Mantle all of a sudden, taking Shohei deep. Spencer Horwitz hit a home run basically through the bat into the second deck. I've never seen such a bat flip before. The Pirates come all the way back, win in just an insane game. Austin says the Dodgers hitters versus Mitch Keller is the mismatch today. Freeman and Ohtani are hitting like 500 against him. Brian, I'll let you start this one off. Ohtani just pitched yesterday. Is it the best setup for him to hit? And but also talk to Austin. Do you see the same mismatch, or do you think the Dodgers are overvalued here?
Yeah, this is an interesting handicap. Wroblewski, the lefty, is going against Keller. Wroblewski is about a 160, 65 favorite with a total of 9.5. Pittsburgh did get some decent news, but on injury situations. But Keller has pitched much better at home than he has on the road this year. He hasn't pitched well lately overall, but his home road dichotomy has been very strong at home. Wroblewski is a guy who continues somehow to pitch above his metrics, far above his metrics. Maybe he's turned into Andrew Abbott number 2. Who knows? Maybe it's because he's a lefty and these things happen. I don't like either one of these pitchers, but I don't want to lay this number with the Dodgers. Like we've said in the past that the Dodgers can play when they want to play. Pittsburgh is a big series for them, coming off that what they've done coming back after the first game. So I'm going to pass on this game, but it's going to be a game I want to watch. Let's just put it that way.
TB, Dodgers, Pirates to you. Just one that went off the rails yesterday. I know we talked about it on the show. You like the Dodgers. It looked like you were well on your way to being right about that one. And didn't see that coming from the Pirates. I didn't think they had that. I didn't think they had that get off the mat ability in them, but they did, and they pulled off a tremendous comeback, come from behind win. Do you think the Dodgers bounce back today?
And it wasn't Tanner Scott that gave up all the runs this time. So, yeah. Ohtani gave up a couple runs, so his ERA got bumped all the way up to 1.03. So he'll have to have another good start to bring it back down under 1. We'll see if he can do that or not. Look, the Pirates have pretty good bats, no doubt about it. That's their good point here. I don't know. I think after a game like that, I think the Dodgers bounce back because, frankly, they're the better team. Even if they rest some of their starters, they're still the better team. Yesterday's loss was because of the bullpen. And if you look at my pitcher matchups, Keller is close to the bottom of the list. He's got over 1,000 OPS against these batters lifetime. So I can't imagine the Dodgers not bouncing back. I might take them on a team total or something like that because I don't trust the bullpen. Maybe a Dodgers first 5 team total over. It's probably 2.5. I didn't look it up, so my bad, but it's probably 2.5. I'm pretty sure it is. I would take Dodgers over 2.5 in the first 5. Yeah, I think that would be a decent play. I think they'll rock Keller pretty good.
Dodgers 2.5 over 125.
Yeah, I would take that.
Yeah, it's an interesting. It's interesting because the Pirates at home, you would expect this is a series that they're going to get up for. These are games that they're going to get up for. Having the Dodgers come to town is a big deal for them. It has been for the last couple of years. It's not something they get regularly, of course, with the two teams playing in different divisions. So you're probably talking about, once a year, right? The Dodgers come to town. They're big games for the Pirates, but suddenly this feels like a little bit of a letdown spot for the Pirates, which is surprising because typically this series, I would think, well, the Pirates, you're going to get their best effort. But the way that game unfolded last night, like, I don't really know if I want the Pirates with Mitch Keller on the mound here. That would be that's my kind of concern, is that Keller's not really the guy that I want to back. And so if he's not great and let's put it this way. Let's say he's not great, which I think is fair. I mean, he's a pretty average pitcher. ERAs in the high 4s. Certainly a guy that the Dodgers can hit. And we already had one of our chat point out the numbers that some of the Dodgers have good numbers against him. If the Pirates dig themselves a hole again, they're not coming back like they did yesterday. I don't see that in the cards. I don't see another come from behind win here for the Pirates. So it's one where I kind of feel like if the Dodgers do get a lead, it ends up just being a Dodgers win and they probably win it by margin. But my numbers suggest that the Dodgers are once again inflated, which also isn't like this huge revelation. They pretty much are every day. Tough handicap. It's a tricky day in general. So I'm probably not going to have much in that one. Those are my thoughts. Tokyo Brandon, I'm going to go to you. Do you know what game you want to go to for the parlay?
I do, and it's a game that we haven't covered yet. So shall I bring it up?
Yeah, bring it up. Go ahead.
Okay, we're going to talk about the Rangers and Royals. This is a guy, Michael Wacha, that I think some of us like. We've shared our thoughts on him before. He's a pretty solid, underrated pitcher. He's in the innings eater category along with Keller, one of those innings eater guys who doesn't really stand up, but he's the upper echelon of an innings eater, in my opinion. And Kumar Rocker. And Kumar Rocker's a guy I didn't like to back last season, but he's kind of growing on me. If you look at his last few starts, he had one bad game where he gave up 4, but other than that, he's got a lot of zeros in his game log here. He's not a terrible pitcher. He's pretty decent. His whip is a little high, 133. Don't really like that, but he's facing the Royals. So looking at the numbers here, and if you look at my pitcher matchup rankings, he tops the list. But it's only one start against him. He did shut him down for 6 innings, I think, earlier this season. So I'm looking at the under 5.5 in the first 5 innings for this one. Looks kind of tempting. I like both starters, and neither lineup is actually striking the fear of God in anyone at the moment. I got both lineups ranked under 15. So yeah, I think an under 5.5. 5.5 seems a little high for me. Even if both pitchers give up 2 earned and one of the pitchers gives up 3 earned, you still win your bet. So under 5.5 for the Royals. Rangers will be my parlay pick. And I might put it as a client play.
Brian, give me the market price on that one and also your thoughts on Rangers Royals.
Okay, it was first half total?
Yeah.
First 5 under, yeah.
First 5 under is
first half.
5.5 minus 105.
Oh, so it's juice to the over. Wow. Interesting. Okay.
And
go ahead, Brian, and then I'll follow up.
I hate to do this, and I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong, but I pissed on Trey.
Froze.
Pissed on yours today, and the reason why is the wind is blowing out heavily in Kansas City today. Michael Walker is a fly ball pitcher. The reason why he has success is because he's gone to places that are very good pitchers parks. Kansas City moved the fences in this year. Rocker's been terrific. And by the way, I've been pronouncing his name wrong all the time. It's not Kumar, it's Kamar. So I apologize for Mr. Rocker. But you're betting on him at the highlight of the top of his game right now. I'm not a big fan of Kansas City's offense, but they still got some good players on that team. The Texas offense I like when they're outside of Texas. And the way these are blowing out, my charts are what I use, think they're going to score 12 and a half to 13 runs in this game. Now, granted, I was wrong yesterday on the one here in Vegas. I could very well be wrong here. I hate going against my comrades on this show because they're very good handicappers. But if I have an opinion, I'm going to say it. And I kind of like this game to go over. Sorry.
No, it's valuable that we exchange opinions like this.
Yes, it is. That's the whole point of this show is get both sides.
Exactly. And if I was going to go all in on that, you can sway me away from it and knock the percent down and whatever, it's good to exchange, even when we disagree. Like Adam and I did yesterday on the Mets and Cardinals. Yeah. And Adam is dressing like me. See, he's got his purple on.
I missed that. At what point did I agree to dress like Tokyo Rip? People keep saying that. Did that just go totally over my head? I would have needed a lot more in return to dress, to come to the show with that get up. So no, I don't ever remember agreeing to that. Someone's going to have to.
I was going to say when we saw each other, I says, I forgot to get I didn't get the email saying we're going to dress in purple today.
I did. Yeah, I did. So again,
we disagreed. I just said it. You didn't agree to it.
I don't even own clothes. I basically, my entire wardrobe is stuff I've accumulated from college campuses and t-shirts.
You mean
that's literally
you don't have
all I own? You
don't have a purple fur coat, Adam?
I don't even know if I have a coat other than the one I wear, like the winter jacket I wear when it's 0 degrees here. Other than that, it's just like this is my whole wardrobe.
No snakeskin cowboy hats or purple fur coats. Okay.
I agree with Brian here, but Tokyo Brandon, if you are going to play under, I do think the first 5 under is the better option. Part of the reason, so 2 things. I do think some of this is baked into that big total of 10.5. So like some of the wind blowing out and some of that stuff is baked in, but the Royals have had bullpen usage. I kind of like it. I'm with Brian. I see a couple long balls, but I would prefer the full game over to the first 5 over because I want those bullpens involved because especially the Royals who have a tired bullpen. So TB, if you are going to play an under, I do think you're at least looking at it the right way, isolating the starters. You could if one of them shoves, you might be fine. Like even if the other one gives up a couple bombs. So not going to have a play in that game on the total. So I can't push back that much. So what we need to figure out now, Brian is going to go, or I'm sorry, Tokyo Brandon's got his Royals Rangers first 5 under 5.5 locked in. Brian, it's up to you. If you want that Mets total, I will pivot. If you want something different, I'll go to that game. Your call. What do you want to do for the parlay?
Yeah, I would have liked the Texas over for the full game, but since he's got the under in the first half, it does not make any sense whatsoever to do that. Yeah. So yeah. I'll stick with my
both of those.
I'll stick with my my Mets game under 9.
And what is the number there?
Under 9 minus 115.
Under 9 minus 115. Listen, I've disclosed that I like the Mets. Do what you will with that. I am going to use the Mariners as my parlay leg. So I'm just going to go with a different game. Those were the 2 I kind of came on that were toss-ups to me for which one to use. If just to, again, full disclosure, I would say the more likely for me to get to the window for clients is probably the Mets. I like that one a little bit more, but for the sake of the parlay, I'm going to take the different game. I'm going to take the slightly better price. And again, it just comes down to sort of how I view both of these teams. What I've talked about all year, or really more so the last couple weeks with the Mariners. They're playing great ball. They're trending in the right direction. And it's rare. Like to me, it's been rare to find numbers that you can actually play this team at. Today, without a doubt, minus 110. Brian, what am I looking at for a Mariners money line?
About minus 112 right now.
Yeah, so we'll call it minus 112. That's the one thing that's been my issue with the Mariners. Not so much playing them on a day-to-day basis on this last couple of weeks where they've been playing really good ball. It's been finding playable prices. And that's one thing I'll say about this game. This is a very much a playable price. I think they're the better team. I think they just play more winning baseball right now than the Orioles. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Mariners on the money line. I think that minus 112, especially with them coming off of a loss in a game where they didn't have to use the top bullpen arms. They didn't really play particularly well yesterday in yesterday's game, which was a 7-2 Orioles win. The Mariners, they only had 4 hits. I kind of think, based on what's gone on in this series so far, I could see the Mariners sort of bouncing back today and taking the series, which would mean they would take 3 of 4. So, I will go with the Mariners on the money line. Brian is going to go with Cardinals Mets under 9, which is minus 115. And Tokyo Brandon is going Rangers Royals, first 5, under 5.5, minus 105. That is the show for today. All 3 of us will have plays up on the WagerTalk site. Some great specials, TB. Yeah, we've got the double play. Some of the June specials are up, which is some good long-term specials on the handicapper of your choice. And, we appreciate the support. Head on over to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. If you missed the show live, drop us a comment, like and subscribe. We try to get in there and answer all of them. And good, bad, or indifferent, the 3 of us will be back at 9 a.m. to talk about it tomorrow. Hopefully good today for the 3 of us. We'll see you guys in the morning.